Most influencers, let me just talk about influencers. Most influencers, they don't afford the life that they portray on social media. Especially, um, we have 90% of influencers, females, they don't afford the life they portray on social media. You could see them, taking various flights in different respective areas, but they literally don't afford the life they portray to live, especially on social media, Instagram Live. They can flaunt and flash, brag and boast about all of this lavish life, restaurants, foods, and like for instance, you find a woman posting as if she's on a dinner, she was taken out by someone. She literally doesn't afford herself. She doesn't even have to meet that particular individual in terms of paying the bills at the restaurants. But us who are seated at home, we could see probably uh, they seated in a very lavish, extravagant hotel, classy hotel, star hotel, or some sort of a resort. And then you will succumb to this pressure that, hey, outside there, some people are living there. It's not their life. You might find out that she can even allow a man to spend almost about like 800 rand in just a restaurant, while at home there is no enough meat. There is not enough meat that will sustain them for almost about a month. Why can't you just go to maybe why can't you just go to McDonald's and have some drinks there and have a chat? So this life, it's fallacy, it's fiction, ludicrous, masquerading people, inspiring people with concocted bogus. Like, it is so bewildering, and it is so jarring, if I could put it that way, to see marginalized people, broke people, average people inspired by another broke people who pause as people who are living substantially way better than them in life. It is so bewildering, and I'm flabbergasted and perplexed to understand why would you be pressured? Why would you succumb to a pressure of people who are living the life that is not of theirs? Right? Why would that be? Like even guys, you find them, posting alcohol. I'm not disputing the fact that they are people who are affording this life, but majority of people that poses as people who have deep pockets, filthy, rich, living lavish life, extravagant, posing next to very expensive toys, referring to cars, Maserati, G63, Rolls Royce, McLaren, Lamborghini, C63, BMW M4, you know, Jeep, Grand Cherokee SRT. You find a lot of people posing next to these cars, Range Rover, and what's not and so forth. The list is countless. But most of the time, people who are portraying this life, majority of them, it's people who doesn't afford this life. People who've been like changing cars like G63 wagon, McLaren, Lamborghini, Ferrari, Porsche, you know, Maserati. These people, they don't bother themselves, trying to take selfies next to dashboards and what's not and so forth. Majority of those people who afford that life, who afford, to fly in different respective areas at any given moments, at any given time. Those people don't bother themselves trying to take pictures or trying to vlog about it or whatever the case may be. Majority of people who vlog about that life, it's people who doesn't afford that kind of life. Even if you could see a passing You could see a person's dashboard. You see this is an extravagant, lavish life. Um, but at some point, somewhere, somehow, you find out that in his area, in his hood, you could just see that this is Maserati. This is a township. Something is fishy. This is Jesus the tree, but where he lives in a township. There, it's very rare. I think it's only 1% or 0.0.01% of people that owns Jesus the tree that lives in township. Majority of them are living in the suburb. They have like apartments, maybe in some cities, exceptional cities like maybe Rosebank, um, something like that of that nature, but they can hardly live in townships. So it is patently absurd that you will post 4 room in township, and then all of a sudden chase a G wagon. Um, the dashboard it's G Web on Jesus the tree, like it's something is fishy. It's a paradoxing statement of life at some point, somewhere, somehow. So, guys, all I'm saying is that don't succumb to this life. Uh, don't succumb to this pressure that social media, inject onto you, right? Some people they can post maybe once after 2 weeks. They post things they didn't pay for. They post cars they don't own. They post location which is not of theirs. So it's rooted in fiction. It's a fallacy masquerading people with bogus. It's not their life. We are not shy that we are still struggling in life. We're still fighting all the way up, to live maybe better, to increase, to grow our equity. What is equity? Equity is something that will pay you whether you decide to wake up and go to work or not. That is equity. Majority of people, even those who are calling themselves like who are calling themselves entrepreneurs or business people, I think at some point somewhere somehow most of them they don't understand equity amicably, if I could put it that way. Like most of the time, sometimes you find these online investors, crypto, forex, and what's not, and so forth. Majority of these people they don't understand equity. They don't have equity. They don't. They can hardly have things that works for them, even whether they decide to wake up or not. That is equity. That is equity. But right now they are just operating in this space of being self-employed. The business that they are involved in, that they are in, it requires their presence for those particular business or entities to function. So guys, do not succumb to social media pressure. you know some people can work so freaking hard, to afford flowers to post on Instagram. Flowers that cost about like 450. You could have buy maybe meat and vegetables at home to eat healthy, something that will sustain you substantially longer. But you decide to spend that money just for a single day appearing in a resort. You bought some couple of glass of drinks and then that money was gone. Like guys, you cannot, especially if you're trying to maybe pave your way to the top. You cannot pave your way to the top by increasing your cost of living. If you're really working on um, growing your equity, if I could put it that way, you cannot do that with increasing your cost of living simultaneously, thinking that even your equity will increase. No, stay low so that um, maybe you can maybe even take calculated risk. You can take more risk while living low. You don't have this pressure of you have to pay rent, you have to take children to model C schools and pay these high bills and what's not and so forth. So guys, just just live your normal life, even if you afford, so that you won't feel pressure of feeding to a certain particular standard. Thank you very much. Have a lovely one. Have a lovely day.